Two people can endure the exact same loss, yet one finds a way to lasting peace, while the other carries the pain for decades. This suggests our suffering isn't shaped by what happens to us, but by what we refuse to let go of. Take the case of a wealthy merchant from the Buddhist time. By every external metric, his life was a triumph. He owned beautiful homes, his business was respected across the region, and he was surrounded by a family that loved him deeply. But every night he lay awake in the dark. Instead of enjoying his success, he spent his hours tallying everything he stood to lose. His life had become a high-stakes game of protection, where every new gain only increased his dread. When we accumulate more while expecting those things to last forever, we are effectively multiplying the points of failure in our own minds. This creates a trap where our baseline anxiety grows in direct proportion to our success. Eventually, the merchant sought out the Buddha. He didn't ask for more wealth. He asked for a cure for his terror. He confessed that his love for his daughter, his pride in his work, and his fear of aging had all become sources of a heavy, constant pressure in his chest. The merchant's struggle shows us that success alone cannot insulate us from suffering. Without a change in perspective, a bigger life simply provides a larger inventory of things to worry about. To answer the merchant, the Buddha led him to the banks of a river. They stopped to watch a young boy who was meticulously building a fortress out of wet sand. The boy treated every handful of sand as a permanent stone in a kingdom that belonged only to him. He worked with a level of pride and investment that suggested he expected the towers to stand for years. But as the tide turned, a single wave rolled over the shore. In seconds, the walls dissolved and the towers collapsed back into the mud. The boy fell to his knees, crying that the world was unfair. The boy's grief came from a misunderstanding of the material he was working with. If we look at our houses, at our ambitious careers, and at our public reputations, we might find we are also building with sand and expecting the strength of granite. Fear enters our lives the moment we mistake a temporary gift for a permanent possession. We suffer not because the wave comes, but because we forgot the castle was made of sand. The Buddha then drew the merchant's attention to the water itself, pointing to a single yellow leaf drifting on the surface. The leaf did not struggle against the current or try to anchor itself to the rocks it passed. It moved with the water, accepting the direction of the flow without protest. This is the nature of time. It is a one-way movement. Seasons turn, children grow, and every phase of life eventually yields to the next. We create psychological friction when we demand that the current stop. When we insist a moment or a relationship remain exactly as it is today, we are effectively trying to dam a river with bare hands. Pain is often a byproduct of this resistance. The river doesn't hurt us by moving. It is our attempt to stay still while the world moves forward that creates the sting. Finally, they walked to an open field where an ancient tree stood alone. Its branches were heavy with birds that came to rest for a few minutes before taking flight again. The tree offers shade to every bird that arrives, yet it never reaches out to trap them in its branches. It provides shelter without the need for ownership. Because the tree doesn't ask the birds to stay, it doesn't lose anything when they leave. It remains at peace through every departure, ready to welcome whoever arrives tomorrow. Love is an outward-flowing energy of gratitude that grants others the freedom to exist as they are. Attachment, however, is a state of dependency that creates restrictive pressure, turning a relationship into a source of fear and a need for control. To love without attachment is to appreciate the bird's song while its wings are still open. It is the realization that we can value something deeply without needing to own it. As the stars began to appear, the merchant looked at his own empty hands. He realized his wealth and his family were still waiting for him, but the frantic need to freeze them in time had vanished. He saw his life no longer as a fortress to defend, but as a river to travel. We cannot stop the tide from erasing the sandcastle, and we cannot force the birds to stay in the tree. The people we love and the moments we cherish are all visitors in our lives. Real peace arrives the day we stop asking the world to remain the same. It is the quiet acceptance that life is allowed to change, and that we are capable of moving with it. The deepest freedom isn't found in owning more of the world. It is found in the realization that we never truly owned any of it to begin with, and that we are finally light enough to be at rest.